"Any snipers here?" the range officer barked, pacing furiously in front of the line of suited men. Dust swirled in the dry desert wind, but the air was already thick with tension. 15 shots had been fired at the distant target. 15 misses. Not one of the men, standing in pressed coats and polished boots, could land the impossible shot. But in the back, she raised her hand, slowly, timidly, a soft rustle, almost unsure. Heads turned, jaws clenched. A few men chuckled, not even trying to hide it. "You?" the officer asked, raising an eyebrow. "You even know how to hold a rifle?" She nodded once, stepped forward in silence. Her name was Elise, 19, maybe 20. Dressed in plain grey, hair tied back, no medals, no family name, just stillness. The kind of stillness that makes people uncomfortable. One of the older men scoffed. "We're not shooting cans off fences, sweetheart." Another muttered, "This isn't a game. It's 4,200 yards. That's math, physics, and patience." She didn't look at them. She didn't look at anyone. Only the rifle, the target, and the wind. The range officer hesitated, but there was something in her eyes. Not arrogance, not nerves. Something colder, sharper, like the rifle itself was just an extension of her. He gestured toward the tripod-mounted beast of a rifle, the kind that kicks like a mule and speaks in thunder. Scopes dialed for the range, winds cutting from the northwest, barrels hot, he warned. She took a knee, adjusted the cheek rest, calibrated the scope with fingers that moved like she'd done this her whole life, because she had, only no one ever asked, no one ever noticed. Her father had taught her before he left for a war he never returned from. She was 10. The rifle was twice her size, but every Saturday at dawn they'd hike out to the ridge. Not for trophies, not for show, just for one simple reason. If you understand distance, he used to say, you'll never be afraid of it. And Elise? She had never feared distance since. She exhaled slowly. Everything else faded. The snickers, the stares, the mountain of doubt pressed on her shoulders. The trigger clicked. Silence, then crack. The shot rang out like a cannon, echoing off the hills in waves. Every head snapped toward the distant target zone. 3 seconds passed. 4. Then, the metal plate at 4,200 yards jumped. A clean hit, dead center. The line of men went silent. One dropped his binoculars. Another took a step back, stunned. The one who mocked her. He couldn't even speak. His lips moved, but no sound came out. The officer blinked. Twice, then lowered his headset. He walked over slowly, looking at her like he'd just watched a ghost fire a bullet. "That was textbook," he said. "Who trained you?" She stood, brushed the dust from her sleeve. "My father," she answered. "He said the shot starts long before you pull the trigger." The officer nodded, jaw still slack, then turned to the rest of the group. "You all saw that," he called out. "No fancy gear, no extra wind data, just focus, discipline, and knowing your weapon like you know your heartbeat." He pointed back to Elise. "That's what precision looks like." Applause started, awkward at first, then growing stronger. Not because they were told to, but because they had just witnessed something rare, mastery wrapped in humility. Elise didn't smile. She simply walked back to her spot, sat down and looked out across the range again, toward the horizon where people usually stop looking. And in that moment, everyone realized it wasn't luck, it was legacy. Because sometimes the quietest one in the room carries the loudest shot. Before we end this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comment.